Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. I would like to at this time call your attention to a report that was rendered by the Idaho State Police. This is responsive to a tip that was received by the ISP. To get some further information on what this is all about, we need to go to page number 2 of this 3-page report under the narrative section. And it states here, on December 5th, 2022, at approximately 17:22 hours, ISP Detective Matthew Hanley, along with Detective William Adams, followed up with tip number 6008. Paragraph 2 states, the tip expressed concern about an online photograph taken from what appeared to be a Halloween party where members of the redacted fraternity were in attendance. In the photo, a male, believed to be a member of the fraternity, can be seen wearing military-style body armor, also known as a plate carrier. Attached to the front of the carrier is what appeared to be a large K-bar. Paragraph 3. The tipster read online that a K-bar may have been the weapon used in the unalivings and wanted to pass it on to police. Detective Adams and I called redacted at redacted and asked to meet. Paragraph 4. At approximately 17:32 hours, Detective Adams and I arrived at the blank house located at blank on the University of Idaho campus in Moscow. We met with redacted and showed him the photo from the tip. Redacted recognized the male as blank and informed us he was a member of the blank and was currently in the house. Paragraph 5. Detective Adams and I met with blank, date of birth 2002, phone number redacted, agreed to speak with Detective Adams and me. Blank confirmed he was in the photo from the tip, indeed, and that he still had the item he was pictured with. Paragraph 6. Blank explained his activities on the evening of November 12th as follows. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll allow you at your convenience to read where he said he was the evening of November 12th going into the morning of the 13th. Let's go ahead to paragraph number 7, which is page number 3. It states here, blank told us that he had been to the victim's house approximately 2 months prior with a female named redacted, a member of the redacted sorority, and the blank for blank said he met Kaylee briefly that night and one other time, also at the victim's house with his friend named blank. Claimed he had only briefly met Kaylee and did not know her or the other victims well at all. Blank claimed this was his only interaction with any of the victims. Paragraph 5, blank consented to providing a DNA sample via swab, which Detective Adams collected. Said sample was later booked into evidence at the Moscow Police Department. Photos of the item from the photo were also collected. Paragraph 9, while speaking with blank, he mentioned that he and his friend, redacted, date of birth 2003, bought these items together at a sporting goods store in Lewiston around Christmas time 2021. Blank told us blank was there at the blank house. Paragraph 10, Detective Adams and I spoke with blank, confirmed Blank's claim of buying these items together. Blank still had it and consented to showing Detective Adams and me. Photos were collected of the blank. Paragraph 11. Blank told us he had previously met Ethan Chapin at the blank formal. Blank said he and his date, blank, went out with them to Hunga Dinga. Blank stated he remained there for about an hour and then left. Blank claimed he had no other contact with any of the victims. Paragraph 12, end of report. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I could interject here. Once again, this appears to be yet another episode where detectives elected not to record the interview. There's no indication here that entered into evidence was a CD or any other file indicating that there was a recording done of these two individuals. I've expressed my concern. ISP representatives met with a suspect. That interview, it was not recorded. If you haven't had an opportunity, please listen to that podcast episode and read the report. It'll provide some further feedback to demonstrate this seems to be a pattern in practice. Number 2, although there was a question, there were questions that were asked here about the K-bar itself, it does not appear that any questions at all were asked about the sheath. This sheath that, according to Detective Brett Payne, was found on the bed with Madison and Kaylee when he went into that room sometime after 4:00 p.m. on the 13th of November 2022. We have pointed out that there were 5 first responders who responded to the 911 call and arrived on scene. Minutes later, none of their reports indicate seeing a sheath. And it appears that any photographs or any video time-stamped by those first responders didn't mention anything about seeing a sheath on the bed. The public has never seen this sheath. 2 months, almost to the day, that Mr. Kohberger pled guilty and the jury trial where evidence that has been under seal in this case for more than 2.5 years might have been presented to the public in a court of law. These 2 individuals that were interviewed here were not asked about the sheath. We see here, there's no indication here of any recommendation for follow-up, for testing of this DNA. They took DNA, and he consented to give DNA, but where did it go from there? Was anyone's DNA tested other than Mr. Kohberger's? Was anyone's DNA sent to CODIS to see if it was a match, for example, of the unknown male B profile that defense counsel asked Detective Brett Payne, the author of the PCA, at a closed hearing on January 23rd, 2025, which a redacted transcript is available for you to review, where Detective Payne was asked by Ms. Taylor if there was any testing of this unknown male B, as it's called, profile in CODIS. So there's lots of questions that remain here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us today.